Hi everyone, my name is Brianna Castorina and my presentation is about mental health in East Asia. My research question is, why is mental health stigmatized in East Asia and why has South Korea made more progress than Japan in acknowledging mental health problems? I included this little cartoon because the person on the right, has a cough, it's something you can see and hear, and the person next to them says, "You poor thing, you should go home and get some rest." But that same person probably wouldn't give that same attention to the person on the left who is struggling to carry the ball of stress, because people don't usually see these types of things as something that needs attention or help. They see it more as like a personal problem. I chose this topic because it is important to me and because it is relevant to everyone, because we all have to maintain our own mental health. And some of us probably even struggle with our own mental health. And even if you don't, we all at least know someone who does. The stigma around mental health or illness must be broken for the benefit of everyone, but most importantly for teenagers and young adults, because those are critical years in which most suicides occur. If they are helped sooner than later, they could live better lives and maybe help someone else later on. I included this little cartoon on this side because, as you can see, this guy is being weighed down by his mental issues, but it's important because he realizes that he needs help. A lot of people deny they struggle with their mental health, so they ignore it, which only makes things worse. Realizing and acknowledging that you need help is the most important thing, because then you can take the necessary steps to get better. My hypothesis is mental health is stigmatized in East Asia because of cultural factors. South Korea has made more progress addressing mental health problems than Japan, because South Korea actually has the second largest suicide rate in the world, while Japan has the seventh largest. Alright, so I have many sources, but the first one that I looked for were peer-reviewed articles, and within those peer-reviewed articles, I searched for suicide rates from Japan and South Korea, and also articles about the esports problem in South Korea and South Korean mental health programs. Besides those, I looked for famous people, specifically K-pop stars, who spoke out against the mental health stigma and how that helps bring awareness to mental health, and I also looked up Japan's response to mental health problems. Here are just a few things that I have found during my research. Japan's insane work culture has a heavy impact on the mental health of the people. Japanese people are known for working long hours at jobs that are not rewarding. They have the most work-related stresses and pressure, which causes depression, which has often led to suicide. The next thing is that K-pop stars publicly opened up about their struggles with mental health. An example would be Mina from the group Twice didn't perform during the first concert of the US tour because of extreme anxiety and insecurity towards performing on stage. Jin E, excuse my pronunciation, from Oh My Girl publicly addressed her battle with anorexia, and Bang Yongguk from the band BAP sat out of promotions for an album because he was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks. Some honorable mentions would be Kim Jong from SHINee, because he committed suicide in 2017, and it was later found out that it was because his depression wasn't taken seriously. Another one is Soli from FX. She committed suicide because it was hard dealing with mean comments and rumors. The last thing is mental health programs in South Korea, which I will talk about in the next slide. The National Youth Healing Center is funded by the South Korean government. They find participants who struggle with mental health to go through a 4-month treatment program. The government allows $48.2 billion each year to aid with suicide prevention and mental health programs. The Youth Health Program works with the Korean Association of Suicide Protection. This program seeks to educate gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are people who are meant to identify people around them that are at risk. The program trains young people to use the talk, act, listen, and keep safe technique with people that are at risk. The goal is that young people can use the techniques to talk to their friends that are struggling with mental health. Child Fund Korea wishes to provide children with a healthy living environment, both physically and mentally. In 2017, they were able to sponsor 760,805 children. Their goal is to teach positive things about mental health while children are young, so they can help others or themselves in the future. Alright, to conclude, the pressure to do well at work and school is extremely common for both Japan and South Korea. Because of this, people definitely need to find ways to de-stress and not just keep it all in. South Korea has made a noticeable effort in addressing the country's mental health problem through the programs and talking about it more. South Korea's goal is to reduce their suicide rate from 26.5 per 1,000 people to 17 per 1,000 people, and this is actually Japan's suicide rate. Overall, this stigma must be recognized and removed in order for any country to make progress in addressing mental health problems. Thank you.